Villains. Every great story needs a great villain. From the sinister masterminds who manipulate from the shadows to the chaotic forces of destruction who crave nothing but mayhem. Villains are often the heart of a narrative's tension and drama. But what makes a villain truly unforgettable? Is it their twisted ideology, their tragic backstory, or the terrifying charm that makes us secretly root for them? Today, we're diving into the dark minds of some of my favorite villains, and what better way to start than with few villains in fiction blur the lines between dream and nightmare quite like Griffith. At first glance, he's the shining hero. Handsome, charismatic, ambitious beyond imagination. He inspires loyalty, commands respect, and seems destined for greatness. But beneath that angelic exterior lies one of the most chilling transformations in storytelling. What makes Griffith such a powerful villain isn't just his betrayal, it's how he deeply makes us believe in him before tearing everything apart. He doesn't descend into evil out of madness or rage. He chooses it, coldly and rationally, in pursuit of a dream he values more than human life itself. Griffith is the embodiment of beauty corrupted, ambition without limits, and the terrifying cost of greatness. He doesn't just break the hero, he breaks the world. Griffith has always done whatever it takes to reach the top. He's sacrificed dignity and so many lives, regrettably, the scars of those lives being haunting reminders to keep going.
If there is one thing I can do for them, for the dead, it is to win. And keep winning until I attain my dream. A dream they clung to and risked their lives for.
Don't let the dead remain so in vain. But not all villains need an army or a godlike transformation to be terrifying. Some wield ideology as their weapon, subtle, surgical, and far more dangerous. Where Griffith shows us what ambition can destroy, Shogo Makushima reminds us what happens when someone sees through the system itself and decides it must burn. Makushima isn't evil for the sake of it. He's disturbingly philosophical. He believes that society has traded freedom for comfort, passion for stability, and he's willing to push people to their breaking points just to prove it. His crimes are brutal, yes, but they're also theatrical. He doesn't want to kill you, he wants to wake you up. What makes Makushima so unforgettable is how quietly he shakes the foundation of an entire world. He doesn't fight the system head on. He exposes its contradictions, its inhumanity, and its deep philosophical flaws. He's not chaos incarnate. He's clarity turned weapon, and it's what makes him terrifying. Makushima doesn't seek control like Griffith. He seeks collapse. In a society obsessed with order, his very existence is rebellion. And like all great villains, he forces us to ask a dangerous question. What if he's not entirely wrong? Moving from the post-apocalyptic future of Psycho-Pass's AI-ran civilization to the present day, we see a villain not looking to destroy the system, but to control it. Makushima used philosophy to challenge the system, but Lex Luthor is the system. Ruthless, polished, and all too real. In James Gunn's Superman, we don't just meet a villain. We meet a man who believes he should be humanity's apex. And when an all-powerful alien shows up wearing a cape, that belief turns into obsession. In this new Superman, Lex Luthor isn't just a mad genius. He's a modern kingmaker, corporate titan, media manipulator, and ideological zealot. He doesn't fear Superman's power. He fears what it represents, the loss of control, the death of man's supremacy in his own world. Luthor's hatred for Superman isn't born from villainy, it's born from ego. He spent his entire life rising to the top, clawing through boardrooms, governments, and powerful structure. And now, one alien shows up, stronger, faster, better, and suddenly Lex isn't the pinnacle anymore. He's irrelevant, or at least that's what he believes. What makes Gun's Luthor so terrifying is how believable he is. He doesn't monologue in shadows, he shakes hands in public, makes campaign donations, give inspiring TED Talks about progress. But behind the scenes, he's dismantling Superman with propaganda, politics, and precision. His genius isn't just scientific, it's social. And unlike other villains, Lex doesn't want to destroy the world. He wants to save it from Superman. He sees himself as humanity's final defense, the man willing to do what's necessary. And that's what makes him so dangerous, because deep down, he truly believes he's the hero of the story. Moving from the bustling streets of Metropolis, we transition to something more rural, the war-torn world of the shinobi. If Lex Luthor represents the cold, calculated need to control a world slipping from humanity's hands, Obito Uchiha represents something far more personal and far more broken. His war isn't about power or status. It's about pain, disillusionment, and the desperate desire to fix a reality that failed him. But the tragedy of Obito isn't just what he became, it's how deeply we misunderstood him. Obito Uchiha is one of anime's most controversial villains, not because he lacks depth, but because so much of it gets ignored. To many, he's the guy who started a war over a girl. But reducing his motivations to an obsession with Rin is missing the point entirely. Rin's death wasn't just personal loss. It was the moment Obito lost faith in the world. Obito was once like Naruto, idealistic, determined, filled with hope. When he saw the reality of the shinobi world, violence, betrayal, endless war, he broke. And in that fracture, Madara found an opportunity to turn Obito's pain into ideology. The dream of a world without suffering, a world where no one has to feel what he felt. And to do that, reality itself had to go. What makes Obito such a compelling villain is the tragic irony. He became the very thing he once swore to fight. A symbol of peace through control, freedom through illusion. He sees the world as irreparably broken, and he's willing to become a monster to fix it. Rin represents innocence and purity, and yet she was exploited, used as a weapon harboring a Jinchuriki, her dear friend being forced to kill her. She is a reminder that the shinobi world is truly corrupt and evil, if children are forced to become tools and die for the sake of their village, instead of being just children. Obito's story isn't just about Rin. It's the slow death of hope, and how even the kindest hearts can be weaponized when pain is left to rot. He isn't evil in the traditional sense, he's just done. Done with loss, done with war, and done with reality. Now, if you've enjoyed what you've seen so far, leave a like and subscribe. It greatly helps out the channel. And while you're down there, check out my social or get yourself something nice using any of my referrals. Whether it be a cute plushie, some anime-inspired merch, or even some sweet new pair of glasses. It really does help a bunch. Now, let's get back to today's video. Leaving the cold world of shinobi behind us, we enter Japan during the 11th year of Meiji. Obito lost hope in the world and tried to rewrite it, but Makoto Shishio never had hope to begin with. Shishio is what happens when cruelty becomes law and survival becomes belief. Burned, betrayed, and buried by the country he served, he returns not to heal the world, but to claim it by fire. Makoto Shishio is the embodiment of Darwinism turned to vengeance. A man who believes the strong should devour the weak. He was betrayed and burned alive by the very system he helped build, all because he knew too much and he was too good at his job. But he didn't die, he endured, and that's what makes him terrifying. Every breath Shishio takes is agony, his body wrapped in bandages, his skin constantly overheating. He turns that suffering into power. He doesn't want peace, justice, or redemption. He wants domination. He wants to burn down the idealism that Kenshin represents. What separates Shishio from many villains is how brutally consistent his worldview is. He doesn't pretend to be a savior, he doesn't fake morality, he tells you straight. The world is built on blood, and only those willing to spill it deserve to rule. It's not madness, it's strategy, and that cold logic cuts deeper than any sword. Shishio doesn't seek revenge for revenge's sake, he seeks balance in his own twisted way. A balance where betrayal is expected, strength is absolute, and weakness is death. He isn't deluded, he's clear, and in that clarity he becomes more than just a man. He becomes the flames that consume idealism itself. Moving from the fiery hell of Makoto Shishio, we depart by train as we make one final stop in the unsuspecting town of Yaso Inaba. true Adachi is not driven by tragedy or ideology. He's driven by boredom, apathy, nihilism, and ego. Adachi is one of fiction's most quietly disturbing villains, because he isn't a monster hiding behind a mask. He is the mask. The friendly cop, the awkward co-worker, the forgettable side character who seems harmless until he isn't. And when the truth hits, it doesn't explode, it festers. Unlike most villains who seek power, control, or even justice, Adachi does what he does because he just doesn't care. He tosses people into a deadly TV world simply because he can, because it's fun, because watching others scramble to survive breaks up the monotony of a life he feels trapped in. His villainy isn't epic. It's petty, toxic, and chillingly normal. And that's what makes him so frightening. Adachi isn't some great fallen hero or tragic outcast. He's the guy who gave up on himself and on the world. He represents the part of people that wonders, what's the point? And chooses cruelty when meaning is nowhere to be found. Adachi, to keep it plainly, is an incel. His arrogance isn't loud or theatrical either. It's passive, bitter, and insidious. Even when confronted, he doesn't scream, beg, or confess with pride. He mocks you. He brushes it off. To him, murder was just another way to kill time. And when a villain doesn't need a motive, just an opportunity, that's when you realize you're staring at the scariest kind of evil there is. The kind that hides in plain sight. In the end, great villains aren't just ones with power or plans. They're ones who reflect the worst part of us, our fears, our pain, our apathy. They didn't challenge heroes. They challenge our understanding of what it means to fall. This is Grimtoki. This has been Beyond Animation, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.